So if you didn't know, the PlayStation Classic is on its way. So Sony is jumping into the old, like, retro console gaming thing. Nintendo did it. They put out the NES Classic and the Super Nintendo Classic, which I enjoy. I have both of them, actually. But one of the things about both of them, though, is I got them, and I really never played them that much. I just kind of wanted them because they're really just kind of cool and nostalgic. I think the whole, having them, and I just kind of, like, in my living room have them. They're really small. They don't take up a lot of space. And I think they just look cool. They're nostalgic, and they remind me of my childhood and stuff. And that's really kind of the biggest thing when it comes to them. Now, you're going to see a lot of people jumping in on this. Rumor has it Sega is bringing theirs in-house. So Sega is going to create like a homemade Sega Genesis retro console. They're getting rid of at games. Finally, I don't know if anyone has ever played an at games Sega console. Oh boy, man! Even the new one that came out is pretty rough and has some problems. I got a couple of problems with the Sony one though. So supposedly it's only going to have 20 games. Final Fantasy, which I'm using gameplay for, is one of them. Final Fantasy VII, which built the system, so it's pretty understandable that it's on there. This game really helped platform. In fact, it was the reason I wanted one. I thought it was really cool. It was groundbreaking. But kind of the thing that makes this a little bit different than the Nintendo ones, at least in my opinion, is you can still pretty much get these games anywhere. There's no reason that they're not available on the PS4 other than they had planned to do something like this. The PS3, though it couldn't play PS2 games, could still play all of your PS1 discs. I had a couple of PS1 games that I'd kept and played on my PS3, which kind of is the problem here. So you're getting 20 games on it. That comes to probably, I think, about, what, $120? If you were paying, so the games are like $6 on the old PS3 store when they had them on there. And you're getting the little console, and I think 2 controllers, which I'm assuming will probably be, the size of the normal ones if they're doing it right. And I think, all in all, this is fine, and I think it will sell. I think people will buy it. But $100 for 20 games, you can't add any more games to it. There's no reason that they can't sell little carts. I think that would have been a really good idea. To sell a compilation, like memory stick that could work for it or an SD card. You could put that in. There's no reason that it can't do that for these games. The thing is, they want to sell an upgraded version. But the biggest problem I have is it's not really $100. It doesn't include a power cable. That's one of the biggest problems with it. So most people will know this that are informed and pick it up. But, the kind of people that they really want to sell these to, like the normies, most of them don't check those boxes. And they're going to get home and they're going to say, what the hell, where's the power cord? I'm really hoping that they fix that. But what if they sell that power cord for $20 and then that's an extra hidden cost that you absolutely need? You have to get the power cord. That's $120 at that point. I think that Sony throwing its hat in there starts to kind of dilute the market. It makes these things a little less special, right? I don't think fire can capture... You know, you can catch fire twice. The Super Nintendo Classic was a little easier to find than the Nintendo Classic. I think, other than the first 2 weeks, I think the PlayStation Classic will become extremely easier to find as time goes on. And then with Sega throwing out their version, I guarantee you Microsoft's going to throw one out. These start to become a little less special. And then you've got these things piling up. You've got a PlayStation one sitting there. You've got all these cords. I see all these problems. I'd rather them just release an official emulator and put it on Steam or something, but, you know, we're not going to see that. So I would rather see an upgradable version. Now, if they were to make this with online, which they're not, and you could add more games through SD cards, which they're not, I think that that would be a very viable and convincing format for this particular way they're trying to go about things. But, you know, we'll see. I have some concerns. It's an obvious crash grab, nostalgic. I think there's a whole generation there, you know, that will want this. So, I mean, it's a smart move, but I think the longer game would have been to put an online system in it and give us a little card with games, and we could have all just kept upgrading one. That would have been really cool. I feel like it's a lost opportunity. Hopefully someone will get it right. It's not hard to include online gameplay anymore, so kind of sucks, right? Anyway, we'll see where they go with it. I know they're going to end up re-releasing a Nintendo Classic 2, an NES Classic 2. We're probably going to get the Nintendo 64 Classic next year. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a PS2 Classic, you know? And I think it is at some point they lose their fire. You see these things everywhere. What really helped the Nintendo ones really was that it was so hard to find, and it was all over the media. It really made you want one, right? And I don't think that it's going to work again. Anyway, this is kind of a rant about it. I've just really been wanting to talk about it, and I think that the power cord, how does it not have a power cord? I just don't get it. I don't get it. It's a slap in the face not to include it. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are on this thing. Are you going to pick it up? Are you excited? I might do another video about what games should be included on it. There's so many that I'd like to see on there if they were going to do it. Could they even give us a top 20 games? Because a lot of them were third-party games, right? So are you going to get all of them? The PlayStation era was so ugly. It's like the awkward teenage years of video games, you know, where you had the sprite, beautifully drawn games like from Super Nintendo, and then we moved on to PlayStation. It's like that awkward, like teenage, you know, you're not quite at puberty yet. And then we hit the PS2, and we were kind of getting there, you know, you're shaping up. And then, you know, PlayStation 3 and so hit, and the computer era kind of took over, and we blossomed into beautiful adults. So I don't know. Anyway, let me know what you think. I'm interested in hearing everyone's opinions on this. What kind of games would you like to see in it if you do want one? Why do you think it's stupid? You know, let me know what your thoughts are on this. I'd like to know. In any case, throw a like up, subscribe, check out my Patreon, check out my Twitch, Yellow Flash Comics, and hit that notifications bell, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.